Hey Kong, we're waiting for at least a couple more to start. Okay.
Hello, bro. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Do you hear
Perfect.
me?
Yes, I do. I'm gonna
Right.
please mute for all of you guys, but you can still write questions in the chat room. Okay.
No, wait. Before you mute, but can I ask you, will GBP CAD still go up?
Which one? GBP, CAD.
Yes.
I'm not right now. I'm not sure. I'm not trading that pair, but I can tell you that GBPs are going up as per my studies. The GBPs are going up right now.
So now we short with GBP NZD.
I'm gonna like as you can see here. This is the 1 minute chart for the GBP NCD,
Yes.
but in a 1 hour, as you can see, it had already crossed the two MAs that I have here. So this is a
Yes.
potential buy.
Yes. Okay.
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 Give me around 5 minutes and we'll start. Okay.
Okay. Hello.
Wallet, we're gonna check that pair in this live session, so don't worry. We'll check it first. Okay. I'm glad that we have at least 7 participants in this particular session. So I'm glad that you are joining. This is actually my second Zoom video that I'm doing, and this is by far the one that has the most participants. So hopefully we will continue having these sessions, and you can invite whoever you want, because this is going to be valuable information that I will be sharing with you guys uh, once we meet. Okay. So first of all, can you please tell me by typing a 777 in the chat if the sound and the screen is visible for you? Awesome. Perfect. I'm actually using the microphone that I bought like around 3 weeks ago, so hopefully the sound is not gonna be an issue for us. Never, right? So we're gonna start with just a quick overview on what Forex is about, because that's a topic that I always want to share with new people, because I know for a fact that when you start talking about the forex exchange market, people will tend to believe that what you're just doing is trying to make them part of your pyramid. For example, for the ones that are in the IA Markets Live, I'm part of it, but I'm more focused on the trading side of it rather than the whole creating a group or of people around you, right? I believe that by sharing this type of knowledge with you guys, that's the my position in terms of sharing ideas. But I have been involved mainly in the trading part of forex, rather than creating a team, right? So um, what I can tell you is that forex is the actual way for you to make the money that you need to continue doing whatever you want whenever you want. That's the way that I believe forex will help us, right? Because what happens is that money is always gonna be part of our world, at least for the next 100 years, the most, right? We are gonna be including the cryptocurrencies, right? But at this time they have been kind of bouncing down. But I can tell you that the price will always oscillate between certain ranges. So you just need to make sure that you understand the pair and make sure that you are entering in the right positions from the like selling at the bottom and I'm sorry, selling at the top and buying at the bottom, which is the way that you can make money, right? Um, Once you have that money, you can start doing, I don't know, let's say that you are like me, right? I like sports, so I would definitely try to go to every stadium that I know, in order to make my dreams come true, right? With that money that I'm making out of forex, that's actually the position that I have in terms of that, and I have also identified an opportunity for my country. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm from Costa Rica here in Central America, and we are certainly uh, not even a developed country yet. We are far away from United States, for example. So I believe that by having more people in our economy entering forex, that means more money in our market, more money to spend, and our economy will go up. So that's the vision that I have in terms of forex in my country, and that's why I encourage the people around me to just try a little bit with me, just for them to understand that if you have uh, the main proper risk management, you're going to be successful in this market, right? So I just wanted to start with that particular comment because you guys have taken the very, 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 very good decision of becoming a trader. And hopefully, this will not only allow you to become a trader, for example, a trader that can be in the computer for just 1 hour doing scalping, or the ones that prefer to be a day trader or a swing trader. That really depends on your attitude and your way to deal with certain uncertainty, right? Because at some point you will see that the price might be actually falling below the expected setup, and you will start freaking out. But if you have the risk management, that the one that is proper for you, then you wouldn't worry about that because as I said before, the money will be there always. The money will be there for you to take it from an ATM. It's just that you need to understand when and how to enter a trade and when to abort a mission, right? So that's the main comment that I had. I don't know if you guys, besides what I just commented, if you want to, if you have a question or you want to share any other thoughts, that would be great for the rest of the group. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think it's pretty clear that we are gonna be the ones that will increase our economy and our lifestyles, and everything that you have seen in the movies will become part of your journey and your life. Okay. So as I promised to Walid, we're gonna start checking into the GBP CAD pair, which is the British pound the um, against the Canadian dollar. Okay. So I'm gonna start from the top, as like the metaphor that I tend to use is the fact that we're gonna start from an airplane at 10,000 feet, and then start going down until we get it to the 1 minute 1 minute time frame, right? So we will start. In this case, I wouldn't start in a monthly basis. I would start in a weekly basis, because the monthly is just too far for us, and those are usually positions that are done for a year or more. And right now, I know that you guys want to make cash as soon as possible, so we're not gonna focus on that high time frame. But eventually, if you want, you can start learning about that. Okay. So let me pull this up. You're gonna see Spanish there because I speak Spanish, but uh, that doesn't mean that I would be providing the information in Spanish. Okay. So let's start in a weekly basis. Okay. Usually, what I try to do to make sure that I understand how the market is behaving, okay, is that the fact that I will take a trend line and start with that type of thing. So you take a trend line like this. You can use the week, that it doesn't matter, but you make sure that you are using the next candle high in order to draw the trend line. Okay. Once you do that, you're gonna see that once the price breaks this, but when I mean break it, it means that at least two or more candles are breaking this particular trend line with their body. You're gonna see a change in trend. Okay. So that is very important for you to understand, because eventually you can trade this type of breakouts. And for example, in this particular one, you would have gotten a 1,000 pip trade. So who wouldn't want to get a thousand pip trade? That's amazing, right? But obviously, it takes time for us to ensure that we're taking those positions accurately. Because again, if you start to like, the market is always going to be there for you to take money out of it, but if you try to take advantage, like even more, in terms of greed, that you want more and more and more, the market might punish you. So you need to be very careful with that. Okay. um, so as I drew this trend line, I can also draw this other one. And this, as you can see here, this is a perfect trend line. Look at the amount of candles. They're not even their body, it's mainly their wicks have been trying to push it, but without any success, right? So this can mean a buy. Again, depends on the amount of pips that you have as an objective. That's something that I always encourage you guys to do, which is basically to go and think, okay, I want 30 pips or 50 pips a day. So in this case, with a weekly analysis, you can make a trade that at least will provide 30 pips, and will be for sure a trade that you can take, because the higher the time frame, the best the resistance and support levels. Because again, the trend lines are gonna be converting into support and resistance levels at some point. You're gonna see that throughout the reviews that we are gonna do in this particular video, that there are several pairs that show confluence between several trend lines. So even if the trend line has already passed, for example, let's say that I do it far away. At some point, if the price goes up, it might come and rebound here. So that's why it's important to do the trend line and cross it far away, because eventually it can help you with further trades. That's something very important to understand, okay? So now that we have this one, we can also draw another one here, and then you can see a triangle forming. This is basically a high time frame, when the price is gonna try to surpass either the top or the bottom. So we're seeing a consolidation here of the price, and I always try to use the market geometry. Okay, market geometry is very important for taking trades because it can help you. So for example, here I can perfectly draw a triangle, and what I'm gonna do is that I will wait for either position to be broken. So in this case, it can be here, and usually it will rebound and then go up, or it can be here, and again it will rebound and then go down. Okay, those are two positions that you can take, but again, it is going to be based on the price action itself. Once it is broken, you can be comfortable, because what happens is that these particular MAs, and I would encourage you to write this down. These are the MAs that I use, okay? I use an exponential MA for the closest one, which is of 50 periods. And then I use a moving average of 200 periods, which is the highest period MA, okay? If the price is above the lowest time frame, you're gonna see usually up and down, okay? The price will go up, and eventually this particular MA will convert to a support or resistance level. So as you can see here, the price surpassed this MA, the 51, and then it will act like a magnet. So it will attract it, and then you can re-enter the trade. That's something that you can also use in your advantage. This can help you. Do an analysis that, for example, you enter the trade over here. Let's say that you enter the trade here. Okay, you enter the trade here, and then what you can do is to wait for that rebound once this is surpassed, okay, and wait for the rebound in this particular MA. And what you're gonna do is that you're gonna place a new position here. This is gonna help you get, instead of, let's say that you had a 30 pip objective, this will help you to get 60 pips in this case. Well, since you started later, perhaps a 15 pip extra, but the objective is to get more pips in the same single trade, right? So you can do that and wait for this to be crossed. Wally has a question. He's actually asking if we can trade only with the help of trend lines. I would say that yes. However, I would always add at least an MA, and that's just for the figure of the past behavior of the price, because that's also relevant. I believe that the trend lines help us because you will be basically trading with the price action, but you always want to take a look of what happened in the past, and that's when an MA comes into play. Okay, So you can choose the periods that you want. As I recommended, I have the 200 for the largest and the 50 for the closest. But again, the thing is that when the price action crosses either of them, then there are positions that you can make, that you can take. So it's very important for you to analyze not only with the help of trend lines, but also with the price action and at least one MA. Okay, that's my recommendation, my personal recommendation. Okay, so we have now that we have already seen the weekly, I think that we have already gotten a very good overview of what has happened in the weekend. So we can see here that we're entering into a consolidation. Okay, the consolidation now comes to daily basis. Okay, so in the daily basis, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna create another trend line here, just based on these weeks and the most nearest lowest price that we had. Okay, here is the lowest nearest, like in this case the high low, the lower the higher low, that's the term, and then cross the trend line here. So if the price breaks this is a sell that you can take up to here, because if the price will tend to be rebounding within this particular section, like the triangle that we just did. So the price might do this if it breaks. Okay, and then eventually we will wait for a breakout either way. Okay, but this is for the daily. In the daily, since we have already seen the weekly, the daily, there are not so much that we could see, but what we can see is that it has just rebounded with a week of a downside price, and then we had another week, but the price went up. So we could say that the price might be going up. As you can see here in the 4-hour time frame, now we can get a higher idea of that, and we can see here that the price just broke the largest MA. So the 200 period MA, as you can see here, is gonna be broken. We're missing just 30 minutes. If this particular body of this candle ends above this MA, then you can be comfortable buying. Okay, and that's very important, Kong, that you mentioned that there are news for the Canadian dollar. That's very important. However, if you're trading higher time frames, that shouldn't be a problem. And the reason why is because those, like the action that the action driven by the news usually is minimum when it comes to hourly time frames. If you're trading, for example, if you're scalping, then you're screwed. Sorry for that word, but yeah, you're gonna be screwed if you're trying to do scalping 1 minute and fundamentals are coming up. But when it comes to hourly time frames, I have noticed, per my experience, that it's not as much as we think that they might do. However, since we have, for example, the Brexit, I believe that at some point there's going to be a massive movement, and that's why I prefer not to trade GBPs when there's something about Brexit. Okay, but besides that, I believe that if you're doing hourly time frames, that doesn't really matter. So again, what we're seeing here is that that the price might be ending above this MA of 200. So what you're expecting is to buy. And again, the actual profits, you can take, for example, a Fibonacci in order to aim for, like, to take your take profits, because this stop loss will be here, okay, just below the low lower high that we saw. And the take profit, you can aim for 61.80%, which is very strong, or even the 78.60, because I believe that if the price ends like this, since it just rebounded from here, it might get to here and then do the whole thing that we discussed in the daily one, right? Okay. And then the hourly, the same thing. As you can see here, it has just crossed the closest EMA. That's very important. And then in 30 minutes, the same thing. 50 minutes, the same thing. So based on what we just saw, guys and girls, would you say that what's going to be the position for the GBP CAD? What would you do? Who's the hero here that will answer that question? Okay, the question is, based on what we just saw on the hourly timeframes and the daily and everything, what would you do right now with that pair, the GBP CAD? Okay, fair, fair enough. But yeah, based on what we just saw, what I would recommend is that we wait for this candle of 4 hours to complete, and if it ends right as it is showing right now, you could aim for even 80, 70 pips or 50 pips uh, until the 61.80% Fibonacci level, which is pretty strong. And since we're forming this whole triangle, then this can end in a profitable trade. Okay. So what else? Okay, I have other pairs to show you right before we see the scalping technique. Okay, right now we have the actual gold has already crossed the trend line. So right now, as I'm speaking with you guys, I am placing a buy for gold, couple of buys actually, because based on the previous price action, it has always been in a downtrend. So I was waiting for this to be broken, and it has been broken not only with the price, with the trend line, I'm sorry, but also it has broken the closest MA. So I'm gonna be buying gold. Okay, so I have a couple of positions now. So I'm gonna wait for it to play down. Yeah, exactly, Walid. Exactly what I just mentioned. I actually shared this in the group of Telegram, that I was waiting for the break of the trend line and it just broke. So I'm going for the buy because I actually had some Elliott waves formed, and I believe that the B is still missing certain space here. So perhaps we're going to see the price going up, and then there's going to be a down, obviously, right? But right now, since it just broke the trend line, then I'm comfortable buying. Actually, I just bought and we're already in profits. So pretty good, pretty good. Oh, and they just gave me 40 minutes gift of Zoom in my first long meeting. So great. Yeah, you can buy gold now. You can buy gold now. You can buy gold, and let's see, you can aim for 80 pips. 1302 would be the 1302 take profit one, and 1309 take profit two. Those are the ones that I would place. Okay. Then we have the EuroCAD. They just broke trend line. I'm sorry. There was a line of support here, and then it just crossed. So I will wait for it to test it once again, and if it breaks this trend line, then I will buy. Okay. Euro USD is the same thing. It just broke the trend line. So Euro seems to be going up, like the whole. Okay, the whole group of euros, when they are the quote currency, you can buy. Okay, same thing as Euro AUD, the Aussie, because there was also a harmonic plane. Okay, so this one is also pretty comfortable for me, with the 38.20% being the take profit one. Usually that's the recommendation when it comes to harmonics. Go to the 38.2 at least. This is my favorite pair right now, but this is I'm checking it in the 1 minute time frame. This is the one that we will see playing in the scalping technique that I will show you guys. Then GBP USD is the same thing as well. In the GBP Gen, what I am doing right now is practicing the pivot points. Okay, I'm not an expert on this, so I'm just testing it to see how it plays. But what I have noticed is that if you mark down the section that is like the consolidation, once it breaks this consolidation, you can aim for at least 10 pips or 15 pips. So I'm gonna practice that and let you know if it works at some point. Okay. And then finally, this is an opportunity that I found based on the historical trend lines. It is like forming a triangle again, and the price just touched the trend line at the top of the channel, or the triangle. So I placed a sell here, and I'm just waiting for it to take profit. Okay. So those are the pairs that I will show you right now in terms of opportunities to trade. And now we're gonna see the technique of the 1 minute scalping. Okay. In the 1 minute scalping, what I tend to do is also geometry. Geometry works perfectly, and also work with the trend line. I'm sorry, the closest EMA acting as support, or acting when it is broken. Because, for example, if you use a close EMA of 50 periods, you're gonna see that whenever the price breaks it, you're gonna be able to take at least 10 pips out of the market, and that's like 90% effective. Okay, so for example, this is the 1 minute time frame. Okay, so you're gonna see a lot of candles, but you're gonna see, for example, here, if the price breaks this line, in this case it was a 50 pip one. Okay, there is sorry, let me check what Kong just asked in the chat. It's impossible if GBP CAD go up to 1.80. Well, nothing is impossible in the trading in the trading market, okay, in Forex. So I would say that that's something that could happen, but I would take it more as for example, you would need to wait. I would say that you should aim for a profit within the triangle and then wait for the price to act before you take any position further. Because if you aim for the 1.80, you might be missing all the profits. So what you can do is open two positions. One, you will be taking profit at the top of the triangle, and the other one, what you're gonna do is basically to put it in a break-even status and aim for the 13 for the 1.80. That's a possibility. Okay, and that way you're not gonna be missing the profits that you have. Okay, so as I mentioned, in the GBP pairs are the ones the GBP pairs are the ones that move the most in the market. The largest amount of pips, obviously in the currency side, right? Not in the index side, because we know that the US 30 and others move thousands of pips a day, but the GBPs move hundreds of pips a day. So what I tend to do is the following. What I tend to do is to have just have the two MAs that we just discussed about, then draw a trend line just as we have practiced. And in this case, what I'm gonna do is to wait for the price to break either from below or from above the lowest MA, okay, the pink one that you see here. Whenever the price breaks it, you're gonna have at least 10 pips opportunity to take, okay? So for example, here it was broken, so you have actually 50 pips. There is just one rule, that there has to be at least 3 or more candles with their body below the actual pink MA, in this case the 50 period one. Because for example, here you're gonna see that the price just broke it, but it was just like a false breakout, and then it returned back to the main trend. I also recommend that you focus, for example, if the trend is upside, what you're gonna do is do a scalping only buy-in, for example. So you're not gonna take the positions going down. Rather, you're gonna take them whenever it breaks once again up. So for example, here you're gonna see the 50 pips that I just mentioned. Then you're gonna see here 27 pips, 28 pips. Then you're gonna see here 30 pips. Then you're gonna see there 30 pips. So you're gonna take a lot of money here. And I can tell you, last time that I did this, I was showing a friend, and with high lots, I made $300 in 5 minutes with just a couple of entries. So this is very, 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 very good in order to do this scalping. And also, what I do is to draw the whole geometry that we just discussed about. For example, in here, I drew a trend line like this, and then I drew another trend line like this. Since they crossed, there's gonna be a triangle here. So once it played, we saw that the price went down, and then the price broke once again the MA from below going up. So this was a 22, 23 pip opportunity right now. The price is currently behaving within the two MAs, so that's like a consolidation of the price. But eventually, you will what I'm expecting is to either break this trend line to go down, or this trend line to go up. So again, I can draw a triangle here because it's all about geometry. So what I'm gonna wait is for the price to break it, either from below or from above, okay? So scalping is pretty easy like that. You just need to be very careful with the risk management. I would recommend that you don't think that this is gonna be making you $100,000 with just $100 in your broker. So the recommendation is to have the proper risk management and just risk 0.01 lots for every $100 that you have available. Okay. If you have other positions open, you just also have to consider that, because again, all the trades that you have available or that you have placed are gonna be either running for you or running against you. So you need to be very careful with that. Okay. So is scalping explained already, or do you believe there's something else that should be explained? Let me know if it's already explained properly. Write a number 1. If it's not, then write a number 2, please. Okay, either of you, Kong or Galaxy, could you please tell me what exactly do you miss? If, for example, if you are still thinking about the MAs or the trend lines, what exactly is not clear? Okay, so if you draw a trend line, for example, with the first points, with the first 2 points, as you can see here, this is look at this, and it is being recorded. I will upload this whole video in YouTube for everyone to be able to understand this thing. So this is the point number 1. Okay. This is the point number 2. So I draw a trend line from the 1 to the 2, and then we continue with this trend line. Let's say that we don't know that this is already here, but once the price touches the trend line once again, that's an opportunity to buy, okay? But it's gonna be even more opportunity to buy if the price not only tests this trend line, but also breaks this MA, the closest one, the pink one, okay? So as we can see here, the price tested it, and then it broke the closest EMA. That's gonna be a buy for you. But again, if you're gonna do a scalping, you should aim for 10 pips. That's gonna be your goal, 10 pips each enter, okay? Like this, for example, this repeats once again. Sorry, this repeats once again over here. And what we're gonna expect is for it to break once again that the EMA. What I would recommend is that when you're gonna do scalping, you focus on either the upsides or downsides. Don't do a combination of both, because that only will mess with your brain. I can tell you that, because you're gonna be thinking, okay, I want this to go down, but I also want this to go up. So that can mess around with you. So what I would recommend is that you wait for the price to retest the trend lines and confirmations of breaking the EMAs, and then you can enter the trades without any hesitation. Okay, is it clear, Galaxy and Kong? Perfect, perfect. What about you, Kong? By the way, the ones who enter the gold trade were now 20 pips up and counting. That was a perfect entry. Okay, so I'm gonna be allowing the next 3 minutes for any questions that are left behind before I finish this video. I really want to thank everyone that take the time to join, because the actual objective of this is just to help you guys. I'm not trying to do anything else rather than help, in order for us to get rich and start living the lives that we have always dreamed about. Okay. Okay, where did you learn to trade and how long? So I started in the world of trading around 2 years ago, but honestly, I didn't. I had my like 7 to 4 job. I worked at Amazon for 6 years, and I was trying to make this along with my daily work. And honestly, I left it behind because I was my thought process was, okay, I have my job that pays me every single 15th of the month, and that's what I need. So I left trading behind. Then last year in November, I resigned my job in order to start trading for a living, and I took there is a free like a free lessons or a free course for trading in this page that I would recommend, that is called babypips.com, and you can take it from beginner to a part where fundamentals are even like more explained. So that's a very good tool for you to get to learn a lot of stuff, and it's for free. Okay, so I also have followed mentors, people that are successful in the market, because if they're successful, there's something that I need to learn from them, right? So I have been also on top of analyzing the ones that are the best in their field, in order to learn from them. So I can tell you that it took me around a month and a half or two in order to be comfortable trading and analyzing these type of things that I just shared with you guys. So it was tough for me because those 2 months sometimes I would wake up and just start reading and reading and reading. But I also understood that the effort it's very important to take, because if you're aiming for a high life, you need to make some decisions, tough decisions, and be on top of every single thing that can help and also that can harm you as well. So yeah, that's very good. I'm glad that you already discovered the babypips.com page, and I again I encourage you, any of you guys that haven't visit that website, just do it, just for you to see it and see if it's gonna be helping you, because they not only have that material, the theoretical material, but also they have people that share ideas on a weekly basis of the pairs. So at the end, it's all about information. The more information you have, the more wise decisions you can make. Okay. Okay. So we're almost finishing. Last question, if there's any. If not, I will be closing this video. And I'm gonna be having another session maybe next week. But I believe that today there was a lot of information shared, and I'm glad that every single one of you that has stayed for this time could get further valuable info for your trading. Golden profit, man. Yeah, that's the way that we do it here. It's profit, profit, profit. All about profit. I don't even have I don't even have a take profit set up right now, because that's gonna be nice. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this call, and I'm gonna leave here in the chat my social media of Instagram for you to follow. I'm starting that particular page, and there has been a lot of people coming around, and I would be uh, more than happy if you guys can follow me. This is the page. And if you want to share as well the Telegram channel and everything that you can, that would be perfect. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.